Hey, what is going on? Welcome to Goddess of Many Faces YouTube channel. One moment. If this is your first time tuning in, make sure you subscribe. I am on a road to 100 subscribers. As if that is possible, but yeah, so this is kind of like different for me. It's like really early in the morning, but I wanted to come on here and just talk about some stuff I've been thinking about. Like with the astral traveling, right? Cuz I attempted cuz I'm trying to get to like a space where I can actually like see my body when I'm like coming out of it, right? Um, because so many people talk about, well, first and foremost, comment below if you ever astral traveled, if you ever, um, comment below your experience with it, and kind of let me know what has your experience been, right? So I had an experience where I actually felt myself like coming out of my body. Like it almost felt like I was like waking up, but I really wasn't waking up, right? And I felt myself like actually like get up, get up and sit up, right? But what's crazy about this is every time like when I attempt to see myself, I can't really see myself. Like I don't know what's that about. So this particular time I sat up and I didn't get out my body. Everybody talk about this floating shit. Like, oh yeah, you like floating and stuff. You'll be floating over your body or whatever, right? But that really wasn't my like experience. Like I sat up and then like I like fell out of my body. Like as if like you know how like let's say if you sleeping on the bed and you roll over and you land on the floor like that. So I sat up and then I kind of like rolled over onto the floor. But then what's crazy is, right, I was looking at my body, but as it was like I seen a blanket and it was like the scarf that I had on my head was like covering like one of my eyes so that I could see like my body or whatever. And mind you, this is all taking place sleeping, okay? Sleeping. We're not talking about like, you know what I'm saying? This is not no nothing that's happening while I'm awake, right? So of course you gotta be sleep, right? Now, the people who could like they do certain exercises when they awake, like with their astral body. Um, I don't know, like different whatever. But let me get back to the story. The dream. Um, so I was like on my floor and I'm looking, trying to look at my body, like trying to twist myself in a way where I could see myself sleeping. Cause everyone talks about how, oh, I saw my body. And what I said, that hasn't been my experience. I don't know. Like, I like to sleep with the covers over my face or like on me. I don't know, it's so weird because even though we're in heating season, sometimes I put my AC on and I still cause it gets so hot, you feel me? So I like to have like the AC on and stuff like that. And so I was well, I didn't have the AC on tonight, but it was nice, a nice um temperature in my home. And so but I still had the blanket on like snuggled. And so I don't know. I look back, I saw covers, but it didn't like look like the covers that I had, which is weird. Like I don't know is it if it's because things kind of look different in the astral realm, or maybe it's like a different realm, or maybe it really was a dream. I mean, well, it's all a dream. Everything is a dream, right? But the way people paint it is like they have the out of body experience, but they see everything the way it is. I don't know if that's just a phenomenon that's in the books, or how they display stuff on TV, but in the astral realm, things look a little like I didn't see like the blanket that I have on to the blanket that I used or whatever. I didn't see that blanket. It was like first of all, it was like bluish, or and I'm like, my blanket is brown with like designs on it. It's like brown and cream or something with designs on it. It has a little pink in it, so it's like a designed it's like designed. So I'm like, when I was looking back, um, I seen like it was like a bluish blanket, and I just couldn't see my face because the way my scarf is on my head, like I got my head wrapped up, like how when you see, you know, you in the hood or whatever, and you see a girl with a scarf on her head, and it's like, I got it like tied up like that. I don't got no bonnet, you know what I'm saying? So I got my hair like tied up. Like, the front is like in a knot, and it has like a piece of thing hanging over it. The way it is now was how it was, when I got out my body or whatever. And when I was trying to look at my whole body or whatever, or like my face part, I couldn't see it because the little piece that was hanging from the scarf was like covering my eye, the part that I could see it. But it was just like it's so weird. I don't know, like, am I like trying to prevent myself from really seeing my body? You feel me? I'm just trying to, but then I wanted to like travel and stuff, right? So, um, I heard somewhere someone said like, you gotta visualize the place, the ins and outs, right? But I don't know what I was doing. I was just going through the walls, right? And then going into other people's apartments and stuff like that. Yeah, that sounds a little creepy or whatever. It's just I was just going through the shit. Like I was going through it. I was going through the walls and shit. Like, because that's what I was able to do, right? Because it was like I went through one wall, and the layout looked just like my apartment, right? But it was kind of like different. The first one I went into was mad clean or whatever. I was like, shit, I hope I don't go into nobody. It looked clean, right? Um, then I went through it was easy the first time. The first time it was easy. It was like I did it effortlessly. Like I just went through it, and then I saw like the layout and stuff, right? Um And I was like, "Oh, okay." Then I went up to the next one. That was fairly easy. But then the other one had dogs. And the dogs was like just coming up to me and everything. And I'm just like, but then what was so strange about this one is that the apartment layout didn't look like my apartment. It looked a little different. And the windows was um in different places and stuff. And then all of a sudden I seen kids and Halloween costumes and all this crazy shit. But then when I was trying to go to another apartment, that's when I was it was so hard to do. And then I left the TV on, and then all of a sudden I love because I was watching Poltergeist because I told you like, yo, it's the month of October. I like to watch scary movies and stuff like that. And I don't know what's wrong with me. I've been like falling asleep on these movies. I guess, whatever. And so I just heard something. It made a loud noise. And then I woke up. And that's probably why I couldn't continue to travel because it was like I was being pulled back to my body. Maybe that's what it was. Because I was trying to go to the next apartment, then I was thinking about going to visit someone that I actually have known, like that I knew. So I was like, oh, because the way they say it was like, you gotta visualize where you want to go and shit like that. And I was gonna do that, but then no, after the fact, I was thinking about doing that, but I was actually trying to actually go to like the next apartment just to see. But what's so crazy about the apartment with the dogs is that they came up to me and this particular person had mad dogs. I don't know like how you like people be having like about 5 or 6. They love animals, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, them dogs is coming up to me. It was weird. And then I saw these kids with Halloween costumes and I'm like, what's going on? I was like, no, this gotta be a dream. Like in terms of like um because when I think of the astral travel, like in my mind or the out of body experience, I feel like everything should be like the same. Like the way it looks in waking life is the way it's supposed to just look. Like you feel me? Like in a dream, like it should look like that. Or maybe I have certain expectations. I'm thinking it should be like my experience is supposed to be like someone else's experience. And I think that's probably what I really have to like, I guess, alleviate or whatever. And so that was quite interesting, that that portion, because I have many dreams or whatever, but that one kind of like stood out to me because I tried to really attempt to look at my body, you know what I'm saying? And I couldn't see my body or whatever. Even when I like went through the war or whatever, like I could have like probably hovered over my body, but I wasn't thinking like that in terms of that. I just was curious, but then I'm like, um, the way I was sleeping, I like to have the cover over me. Like I don't know, it's weird. I've been doing that since I was like a kid. Well, when I was a kid, I was like kind of like scared of the dark and stuff. So I used to just sleep with the covers over my head, over my face, or whatever. I ain't ashamed to say that when I was a kid, because I had so many encounters when I was a little kid. Like my mom, she liked to, uh, you know, sleep in total darkness. And so she used to make us all cut off all the TVs and everything. But soon as I hear her snoring, I cut that TV right back on. But then she'll get up and be like, cut that damn TV off. But once I heard that snoring through the house, I was like, yeah, she knocked out cold. Cause it was just like I just had some crazy encounters in the dark. You know what I'm saying? But when you like think about it, like after a while, like the darkness, you start to be able to see in the dark. Like I don't know if you guys have ever been in the dark, right? What was so crazy about it is that yeah, I was when I was a kid, I was afraid of the dark, but whenever I was mad, and even now, like if I'm extremely mad or upset, I could just sit in the dark. Just sit in the dark. Like all that fear all that, it's just your imagination, right? Because at the end of the day, I feel like if you going to see an entity, if you going to see a ghost, if you going to see something like that, you could see it in the daytime, you could see it at any time. So it doesn't even have to necessarily be at night. You know what I'm saying, or in the dark. So that's why I'm realizing, like, if you going to see something, you going to see it, right? Um So that's why I've realized, as I'm like, you know, as you get older, you just start to realize certain things like, okay, because a lot of times people are scared of the dark because of like the movies they watch, the stories that adults said to them, you know what I'm saying? Um, because there's some people out there, they just like to scare people and stuff like that. And then plus on top of that, if you slept in the dark and you have seen something, like a ghost or an entity or whatever, you know, um, then that could be, that could be a reason why some people don't want to sleep in the dark. But what's so crazy about it, like if I'm like really, really upset, angry, mad, I could sit in the dark and it wouldn't even phase me, none of that. So that's why I'm like, you could like, and then after a while, the darkness you could see in it. I don't know if anybody else, you know, after a while when you in the dark, like pure darkness, you start to be able to see everything. I don't know how to explain it. Comment below if you guys have ever like experienced that, where you in the dark and then after a while you could see everything. It's like it's weird, but you could see in the dark, like, you know what I'm saying? After a while you could just start seeing stuff. Like at first it'd be like pitch black dark, but then after a while your eyes adapt to it and you could start to see, you know what I'm saying? Like you know where stuff is at. Um, yeah. Yeah, and there's people out there that they can't sleep um without it being totally dark. And other people they don't care. They sleep in the light that, you know, any place. Um and then some people like to put the things over their eyes, the sleeping mask. I think that's what they call it. They put the sleeping mask on and they go to sleep. I don't know, when I'm ready to go to sleep, I go to sleep. Shoot, I could sleep in a chair. I could sleep for real. I don't have to be laying down to sleep. I remember it was this woman, right? She had to sleep on a breathing. She had to put this mask on, like a breathing mask, and she couldn't lay down because she said that, oh, if she lay down, she dies, something like that. So she used to sit up and she used to sleep. Like the way she sat up and sleep was just weird because she wasn't like laying on nothing. Like, you know how people, you sitting in the chair and you laid up against the back of the chair, or like you laid up against the wall and your head is on something. Like, I guess she was so fat that she could just sit there and just use her shoulders as like a pillow or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And she had like the breathing thing on. Cause I don't know what she had. What was it? But she was nice though. But she just didn't, you know, she couldn't lay down. I don't know what that's about. Maybe it's like a condition. I don't know what it's called. I'm pretty sure if I Google it, I'll find it. But there's a lot of people out there like with different sleep disorders or certain things that they have to do. Um, or if people go to sleep, they lay down. I mean, I don't know what that was all about. Like, you can't go to sleep. I mean, lying down. I guess it had more so about her breathing than anything because she had to be on a breathing machine. Um, I don't know what the breathing machine was called. But then there's people out there, they have like, sleep insomnia where they be up all night. I actually got up like, I think once something tonight or whatever, because I went to sleep in the afternoon or the evening. I would say the evening. And I woke up 1 o'clock and I was like just up. And that's when I kind of like was putting on like scary movies and stuff. And I put Poltergeist on, but I fell asleep on that. But then these documentaries, girl, it's the documentaries for me. Like, you could watch a scary movie all day long for the month of October, but these documentaries with these people that just be just killing. I saw this documentary about this woman who killed her husband, and then she went to a whole nother state and killed a stranger and stole the person's identity and money and everything. And like with this was like a two-part documentary. And so they called her like the grandma killer because she was like an older woman. She was like in her 50s, her late 50s. Um, and they talk about the childhood, and she basically was saying how, first of all, she was talking about how her mother had like mental illness, bipolar, schizophrenia, and she was in like a what is it? She had like a cluttered house, like one of them houses where it's just a whole bunch of stuff everywhere. And she said they had like a little like a trail they had to walk through into the house. And then she had some of her friends like talking about it and stuff like that. But I'm like, it's plenty of people that been raised by have parents that had mental illness that was physically getting abused and you know uh far worse. I mean, a clutter house ain't nothing, compared to some other people horror stories, but they don't kill people, you know what I'm saying? They don't, kill someone that they claim to love or whatever. But of course, they start talking about, they try to bring up like people's past issues and stuff like that. But it's people out there that come from horrible, horrendous backgrounds. You know what I'm saying? And they don't kill nobody. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, her thing was that he was like verbally abusive. To her. But what's crazy is like people, I don't know, it was just a crazy documentary. Um and but then it's like, you know, she went to a whole nother state. She befriended this woman, and the woman was so nice. Like she was meeting women, and she was able to get them to take her back to their place. So I don't know what that's all about. You know what I'm saying? Because the woman, I guess they had a good time at the bar. Because I mean, like when you go to a lounge or a bar, whatever, you sitting at the bar ordering drinks, and of course, like if you're a sociable person, they painted her out to be like a sociable woman. Like, she was easily able to make friends, stuff like that. And, she befriended this other older woman who lived like I guess right across the street from the bar that they was in, or in the neighborhood at least. And the woman uh told the grandma killer like, oh, well, she didn't know that she was a grandma killer, because I guess the grandma killer was like, yo, I'm gonna go to a hotel, and the woman was like, oh no, you don't gotta go to a hotel, you can just stay with me tonight, and blah, blah. Like really nice, you know what I'm saying, like very nice to the woman, and for whatever reason, she killed her. She killed her, took her clothes, was wearing her hat. Um, she stole her identification cards, her bank card. She withdrew money from her account, took her car, all that. And then she was like pretending to be her. And then on top of that, she didn't even leave the state. You know, she stayed in it. Like how you kill somebody there and you stay in the state and then they stay looking for you for the other murder. It was just like a cold. I'm like, you know, and then when they asked her, because she was in the documentary talking about it, she like, well, I just don't remember why I did it. I'm like, how you don't? She was like, I don't know. I don't, you know, when it came to why she killed the woman, she couldn't even say. Like, you don't even know this woman. You know what I'm saying? And then for her husband, she was like, "Oh yeah, we went out to they went to some place, right? And it was like a 2 hour drive away, and they only stayed for 15 minutes. Then when they came back home or whatever, she said that he handed her um the gun and told her to just commit suicide or whatever. And so instead she shot him, but really it was her father's gun. So it was just like weird, like the whole document. Cause I'm thinking when I see these documentaries of these killers talking and stuff like that, it's like you have nothing to lose at this point. You doing life in jail already. So why not just tell what really went down? You know what I'm saying? I mean, well, maybe that is what really went down, but it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, I don't know. I'm an outsider, so of course, with me thinking about it, I'm just like, that shit don't make no sense. Like, you know, when she was like, oh, he was verbally abusive to her, she was with him for like probably like over 20 years for a long time. I didn't even get through the first part. I just went, I watched a little bit of it, then I went to the other second part. Second part, I watched mostly all of it, but I'm like, these documentaries, yo, boy, mm-mm-mm-mm. They had some other documentary about killers and on Netflix, and it was this one dude, um he was locked up for like 20 years, and he was trying to get like an early release. He was locked up for killing his baby mother. And so, like, when he was telling the story, he made it seem like, something totally different than what, everyone else. 'Cause they let the killers tell part, they story, right? But then they also incorporate what the detective investigated, what they gotta say, what the victim's family gotta say, and everything like that. And the way he made painted it out to seem like he said, "Oh, he said he was his friends was in his home and his gun went missing. One of his guns went missing. And so he was talking to his baby mother about the gun being missing. And then she was like, oh, well, maybe one of your friends took it. And so he said he took the other gun and he was like pointing it at her. but talking about, oh yeah, well, I'm gonna have to shoot them or do something like that, right? And then he said the gun went off. And then he said that, oh, he panicked or whatever. He heard the police and he kind of like left the apartment, right? But mind you, when the detective was talking about it and when the girl's aunt was talking about it, they basically stated that, you know, he left the apartment. He first of all he left the baby on the bed, right? He left the baby on the bed. He left the baby mother there that was shot, whatever, dead. And then he left, right? And who discovered the body was the grandmother and the uncle that's discovered the body. So 18 hours later, right? The baby mother's mother, which is the grandmother's to the baby, um, came over there with her her son, who's like probably about an 8 and 9, but he's like the uncle to the the to the baby or whatever. And they come over 18 hours later because I guess she wasn't answering her phone, or, she has people that care about her. And they came right over there, and, that's how they discovered the body. And the baby was on the bouncy on the bed. So they said the way the baby was, the baby almost fell out the bouncy chair because he was, I guess, crying or bouncing so much or try to get out of the bouncy chair. And the detective was like, "Oh, he actually even went to somebody else's house, another woman's house, and had sex with her after killing his baby mother, and try to use her as an alibi." So it was just like, and then they let him listen. And then the aunt was like, because he trying to get early release or whatever. But the aunt was like, "Oh, he may have everybody else in the family on board, as far as trying to get him to get early release." But she was like, she said she ain't she talked about how that day her niece had called her and was like, um, you know, talking to her about the abuse and stuff like that. And then the aunt was like, she spoke to her and she felt like she finally got it, like that was an abusive relationship. You know what I'm saying? Um, but then the aunt kind of like felt guilty because when she hung up, that was the last conversation that she really had for her. And she was like, well, he left. How are you gonna leave your child on the bed? You know what I'm saying? And not even make an anonymous call or nothing so somebody could get your child. None of that. So the aunt just feel like, she don't forgive him or whatever like that. She ain't being bothered with him. But of course I'm doing like the short version, like a summary of it. But um I just find it interesting. Well, not interesting. I just find it like a little bit like when you hear them tell a story versus what everyone else saying. And then, that was just like, and then when, uh, cause he tried to make like a, a, a thing, what is it called? Like a nonprofit organization named after his, baby mother or whatever. And, I don't know. I just feel like, um, I find it a little bit like, like when you hear everyone's story of it. And then they have other killers on there that they just was like, oh, I they was just being mad candid and just not even around the bush with it or trying to paint it as something that it was not. You know what I'm saying? Like they were like, oh, I killed him because I just wanted to kill somebody that day. Like I'm like, oh my God. I was just like, this is crazy. Mm-mm. I didn't see all of them, but just some of them that was on Netflix. But I think like in terms of uh when people talk about how they black out, like, oh yeah, I blacked out. I just feel like um I feel like some of them like just copping out. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you just copping out with that blackout stuff because, I don't know. I just don't believe that, you know? I feel like the memory has to be there in some way. Maybe someone like repressed it because it was so traumatic. Um, you know what I'm saying? It's so traumatic that they had to block it out, or they feel like maybe people are going to judge them. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe they just don't even want to talk about it because it ensue certain emotions with it. Probably, I don't know. I'm just speculating or thinking in terms of that. But like, how you forget the reason why you know what I'm saying, did that to a person. Like how you know what I'm saying? That's just like if you have a regular routine that you do every day, right? And then all of a sudden, like let's say you driving on the highway or whatever, and this is your regular routine, right? Then all of a sudden there's a big car accident on the opposite lane or something that a traffic happened, like let's say an airplane fall out of the sky or some shit like that. That's just like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's out of the norm. Like you're gonna remember that. Like, oh well, that morning I put on a green shirt. You know what I'm saying? I went to Starbucks. I had some coffee. You know what I'm saying? Then I seen this woman and I spoke to her for a while. You know what I'm saying? Then I got in a car. I was listening to, you know what I'm saying, the breakfast show or whatever. Like I was listening to like 10:35, like whatever. Like you're gonna remember details. Oh, and then my cousin called me, or you know, I was listening to a podcast and all of a sudden a damn airplane come out of the sky. Like, like you're gonna remember that stuff. Like, I just feel like people be just trying to cop out on certain things because they don't want to talk about it. But I'm like, you already in jail doing life for the shit. You might as well be honest instead of, you know what I'm saying? But I guess people think about like they loved ones and how they loved ones are gonna feel. But I'm like, I don't know. That's just a reality that's just like, I don't know, like unconceivable to me. Like when you think about it, um, and I'm not passing judgment on anybody like that. I'm just like, certain realities people would never know. Like, the reality of being a billionaire. Some people would never know how that feels. Would never know. You feel what I'm saying? Like, or even just having money, period. Right? It's some people that's still in the the everyday struggle shit, like where they gotta like, do what they gotta do to get by and shit. So it's like uh um certain ways of living, the thought can't even be conceived because it's like that's how they've been, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I don't know. Maybe I should shut up because maybe I'm not articulating myself right. I don't want it to get misconstrued into something that's because I am live. So maybe I should just stop talking about that damn topic. You know what I'm saying? But it's just I just can't. I don't know. You know, it's one thing for you to defend yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? You walking in the street and somebody trying to get at you, attack you, and you have to defend yourself, right? But for someone to actually sit there and just be like, yo, I'm taking this, like, you know, taking this person out, like on some plot and shit, and someone that you love, like, how could you hate someone that you love, like, to the point, like, you want to take them out? I just don't understand that. Like, you know, I know it's people out there that has like anger and rage and hurt and stuff like that, right? But it's just like I just don't understand that. Like my thought would be like I gotta get as far away from this person. I just gotta get away. Like that's just like you know what I'm saying. If I don't like somebody, well, no, not even gonna say if I don't like somebody. I don't even want to say that. But I just feel like if I know that someone is going to make me get out of character or that I'm so angry with this person or if you know what I'm saying? Like I gotta get away. Like I just gotta get away. Like I'm that type of person. Like I just got to get away. Like that's it. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing like space and distance that could heal some things. You feel what I'm saying? And I just feel like even for a woman that or even a man, like, cause you know, people they rely on other people for stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially like when you go into a relationship and this person is um giving you money and stuff like that, and then, you know, they have some level of control over you because they give you money, they think they have a level of control over you. And so like they want to dictate how much they give to you, where you gotta go, what you gotta do, and all that stuff. Then, if you don't like that, you know what I'm saying? It's only right to like um to remove yourself from that. You feel what I'm saying? Like people, what I realize is that people are scared to start over. They scared of different transitions in life. You know what I'm saying? Like people are just scared to for something new. Like we're not meant to be like this, like the same throughout the whole life. Like even when you look at pictures from when you a young child, to adolescence, to young adulthood, to adulthood, early adulthood. I mean, elderly. You know what I'm saying? When you're in different stages, you look different. You know what I'm saying? Some people may maintain their weight, but you know what I'm saying? For most part, people would just be getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I just I think like just embracing like when something doesn't work no more, especially like with a relationship, like, you know, yes, it's hard when the person ain't the person that you used to be with. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's best to I just feel like I don't know. I would be out, B. That's it. I just feel like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I gotta be out. You know how you seen how Tina Turner left Ike, you know what I'm saying? She didn't have a dime to her name. She ran to the hotel and she was out. Matter of fact, she left that whole marriage with nothing but her name. Nothing but her name. She told him he could have everything and she left with her name. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just gotta be like that, and it doesn't even have to be an intimate relationship. It could be any kind of relationship, a friendship, family. It could be a job, it could be anything. You know what I'm saying? Some people start over in a new state, just to turn a new leaf. And it's just like sometimes you just gotta be like, if something ain't working for you no more in the state that you're in now, then you gotta leave that situation, even with the toxic relationships and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Because when I was watching this killer show, I'm like, they killing people that they know. We're not talking about, well, maybe I should say unaliving. I don't know. What's the big deal with using certain words on YouTube? I don't understand that. Like, I see people, like, because that's what the show is called. It's called, it's about a killer, killing people who have killed or whatever on Netflix. So I don't understand why I can't use certain terms. Like, I hear people talk about, oh, they unalive them. That just sounds weird. That just sounds so weird. Like, who talks like that? But these people who died or was killed, right? They was by loved ones, people they knew. Like, it wasn't no stranger who came to them and did that. This was all by people they knew. Like, I would say 90% of that show was about people who off the people in their lives that they knew. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was like, oh, you know, one guy was like, oh, well, he had offed his own grandmother because he wanted to kill somebody, right? He really wanted to go kill his father, but he didn't do it. He went to her. You feel what I'm saying? That's what he said. This ain't me making it up. This is what the guy said on the documentary. You know what I'm saying? But he said he was on all types of drugs. But for whatever reason, he remembered every detail. He was high as a kite and he remembered everything. But his thing was like he went through so much abuse when he was a kid. His father used to beat him and stuff like that. And he wanted to, like, he got so high, he was thinking about old stuff that happened and he just snapped. You know what I'm saying? And he was telling every detail, which was just, it was just, that was just far worse than any horror film that you could ever watch. Like, that shit was crazy. And it's kind of like, it's like embarrassing, like almost like, you know what I'm saying? It's like for somebody, you gonna take the matriarch out of your family, and you said this person ain't do nothing to you, but she was your safe haven, and she was so sweet, and he was laughing about it. I was like, oh, he is crazy. But that's why, like, even with certain things, like, you just gotta be like, I don't know. Some people are just cuckoo for cocoa puffs, crazy, crazy, and just crazy, and that is just like, I don't know. I was watching some horror films, but that's just like, that's some crazy stuff. Some documentaries. I know they have podcasts on like true crimes and murder and stuff like that. And I just never like listened to any of it. I don't know. So I just never did. But hold on for a second. I got me my little morning smoothie. It's a nice drink. I like the green smoothies, like that's really sweet. Put like apple in it, like because I have a juicer, but like you could just put anything in a blender and it blends good. Mm, this is good. Um, yeah, but this is like an old drink that I had. It was in a freezer, and I just took it out, and I had it sitting there, and it kind of like thaw out a little bit, but it's so good or whatever. I think I'm gonna actually start juicing soon. But when I start juicing, I want to be committed to it because I ain't got no money to waste. Okay, like when I buy stuff, I have to make sure like, all right, this I'm going to be eating this because food has definitely yo. I never complained about the pricing of food or anything like that, inflation, because that is what it is. Like, but I tell you, I do not have money to waste. You feel me? Like the food that I buy for my house is the food that I'm going to eat. So like even though like yes, I want to be health conscious and eat healthier foods and stuff like that, but I also have to be very real with myself and know what I'm going to eat and what I'm not going to eat. So I have to be very honest with myself. So, like with the whole juicing thing, like once I do it, I don't think I'm going to buy a whole week's worth of it. I'll probably do like a day or two, like have stuff like that, because I noticed that some of the produce, I mean some of the fruits and vegetables and stuff like that I buy, sometimes it could go to waste. Like I remember I had bought like some salads. It was like a Caesar salad that came like in a bag, and it went to waste because we didn't eat it. And I bought a whole bunch of that. So I'm trying my best not to do that. You feel me? Like not to do that anymore. So I like to buy when I buy like fruits and vegetables and stuff like that, salads. I like to buy it knowing that it's going to be for a few days, not for the whole week necessarily. Um, yeah. So I like to do that because I'm not trying to waste no food. Seriously. And then everyone in my household, like, I don't have small children, like little kids or whatever like that. So like cuz so it's different because when you have kids, it's like small kids. Of course, like there's kids out there that's picky eaters, but mostly you doing a lot of cooking. You know what I'm saying? So like now I don't really have to cook like that much, um, because sometimes, because no one be home, or like people who are home, like order food and stuff. Like you be done made a big dish, and I be done made a whole big dish, and my son come home with Chinese food, like, okay, you know what I'm saying? So I like to like with me, I could eat. It's certain foods I could eat over and over again, but it's like I'm trying to stay away from certain foods, like the comfort foods. Like I'm trying to stay away from certain types of food because you know I'm just at that place where I'm like, all right, girl, it's time to get a little serious. Um, I don't want to say be serious about weight loss, but I just have to be a little bit more conscious of what I'm eating, my exercise, and how much I'm doing of that. Um, because I am older, like I'm 41 now. So, like before, I used to be very active. When I was in my 20s, I was just like, I would say, yeah, in my 20s, I was just like very into like, I was like obsessed with weights. You know what I'm saying? Growing up in the 90s, it's just like the 90s was like a different time, be like it's when I tell you it's so different from like the 90s and now it's like day and night. In the 90s, it's like it was just like this big thing to be skinny. Like you had to be skinny. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you just had to be skinny. Now it's like it's body positivity. Like, you know what I'm saying? You seeing people outside wearing bikinis and shit that's like 400 pounds, you know? And no shade. I'm just saying what it is. In the 90s, oh no, you would never see nothing like that. You would never see no fat person with their stomach or none of that stuff out, right? You would never see that. Um and but it's definitely a different time. Um but I just have to be a little bit more conscious of what I'm consuming and my active level, right? Because, it's October. I've been watching a lot of scary movies and stuff like that. And it's just like, you be on the couch and you be eating and shit. You feel me? So it's just like I have to be just mindful of what I'm putting in because sitting there and eating, like, it's crazy how some people can eat whatever they want to eat and they don't gain a damn weight. They don't gain nothing. I'm like, damn, kind of immune system or metabolism you got. Mm-mm. And they be eating the same stuff that you be eating, but they don't gain nothing. That's like the worst thing ever, right? Especially like when you get into a relationship, like y'all be going out to eat, doing all this stuff, then all of a sudden, like, I don't know, but I have to be a little bit more conscious of what I'm consuming. But I also don't want to waste no damn money either. You know what I'm saying? I just don't. Like, if I'm going to be making chicken or eating this kind of food, then I definitely have to, I have to like at least consume what I'm going to, you know, eat. You know, that didn't make no sense. Buy what I'm going to eat. I said consume what I'm going to eat. I got to buy the food that I know I'm gonna eat. Mm, point blank, period. Just like I got this fruit. And matter of fact, I should do something with that fruit. I had this bag of fruit. It's like um another smoothie bag, but this one actually came together, right? And I had it in the freezer. I would say I had it in the freezer for like over a month. And I didn't even use that one. So I gotta use that one. That one has strawberries, it has spinach, um, and some other stuff. I think bananas, other fruits, and then I know for sure it has spinach in it because it's a complete. It comes complete like that. So I gotta do something with that. But my other one was made like with the fresh fruits and vegetables that I get. I don't know. That's why I like to get the frozen stuff. Like I don't know because I know me. Like you know, I would rather eat a hot dog. You know what I'm saying? But I had cuz I was like the only ones eating hot dogs in my house. Cuz my son, he not going to eat no hot dog unless it's coming from a cookout or something like that. You know. I'm like cuz I could eat a hot dog. Like I had bought me a hot dog, some hot dog buns, And then I got like the sauerkraut and the onions and sauce, and then I got like the mustard, the spicy brown sugar mustard. Oh, that joint was hitting, yo. Oh my God. And I had like the baked beans. Oh, those hot dogs was hitting, yo. And then I had to think about it. I'm like, you the only one who eating this. It was so good. But I still have the hot dogs. I was like, nah, I can't be eating this every day. But it was so delicious. It tastes just like the hot dogs from the hot dog stands. Cause I really wanted a hot dog from the hot dog stand, but I'm like, I could just buy it, like, and make my own, you know. Now I think a hot dog from the hot dog stand probably costs like $5 maybe. Back in the days, it was like $1, 50. I don't even think you could find a hot dog for $1.50 anymore. I don't even think that's a reality. I think it's like, yo, like $5 you get in a a hot dog. So I'm like, let me get the thing. But the only thing is I had got my hot dog buns from Target. Cause yo, on the real Target, like they bread and they eggs be mad cheap. Cause remember when eggs became so expensive? It's like you get a carton of eggs for like $7. And I'm like, what the heck? But then Target was having their eggs for like $1.99, $2 and change, you know? And then they had like the $1.15 bread. And so when I went there, it kind of went up. It's like $1.79. But the bread wasn't like the hot dog bun bread wasn't that soft. So I'm like, maybe I got like, but I don't know. It was just that soft. I like the bread to be really soft. It was so delicious. That hot dog was like the best. Oh my God. I still got like the hot dogs and the stuff in there, but I threw the buns away though. I did because I'm like, I can't keep eating this shit. Now I did waste like two of the buns because I'm like, I was like, yo, I'm eating these hot dogs every day. I did waste that shit though. I did. I threw it out. I'm like, I can't do this. I'm like, I'm gonna have to eat a hot dog without the bun. Mm-mm. Them shits was hitting, yo. It was like thumbs up this video if you guys like hot dogs. The hot dogs be hitting, yo. I used to like the chili dogs when I was pregnant with my son. I used to eat hot dogs with chili on it. And that's why I'm like I can't even eat that no more. I used to eat like hot dogs with I used to eat it's called Franks and Beans. I used to eat that, and then I used to eat the hot dogs with the chili on it. And mainly I ate that because I really didn't know how to cook at that time. I don't even know how to cook that. I didn't know how to cook nothing but like noodles, Franks and beans, hot dogs, and chili. Um, and all that stuff is processed food. Oh my goodness, I came a long way because I could not cook nothing. Now I'm like, oh, I could cook a little something. I couldn't cook for nothing, yo. Ooh, thank goodness for growth. That's why growth is important, B. Like it just really is. It really is. I think what I would say a young person like just start like learning how to now it's easier to learn how to cook or learn how to do stuff because they used to have home eds in high school. They don't have those kind of things no more, but you could literally teach yourself anything off of the internet. You know what I'm saying? So, but I think the best thing is to teach yourself how to cook certain foods. Like, I feel like you could get a recipe and kind of like tweak it a little bit to your liking. Like, I like my food. Like, what I notice is that as I'm getting older, my taste buds is just different. Like, I don't know, it's just very different. Um, now, my taste buds. And so like I'm finding that the things that I used to like, I can't tolerate it. It's like nasty. I don't know. But the candy ain't getting nasty, yo. For Halloween, like I got my I like always like to do my table for Halloween. And so like I have bought some Halloween candy. I got my candles out there. I got some nice candles. I got this skull candle like with a snake on it. It's banging. And then I got this like this book of spells candle. And then I have like some different stuff on there. Like it's like I got this skull. It's not a skull, it's like a skeleton candle holder from Bath and Body Works, but I don't even think they even have them no more. Like when you buy stuff from Bath and Body Works for Halloween, you gotta get that stuff in August, like when it first comes out, because they stuff goes by fast. And so I also got a candle, and I had on Sunday I had lit the candle because I'm like, it's close to Halloween now, so I have to like start lighting these candles, or you know, because I didn't want to, because of course with that skull candle, like once you light it, that's it. Like, so I wanted to kind of like do that. But I have some things lined up for Halloween that I'm gonna be doing. Yeah. Today I gotta um go take some stuff back that I'm returning. I have bought some banging shoes, but uh these shoes that I got them too big. Like I don't know, it's weird. I got my regular normal size, but I guess the shoe just runs big because it's wide width. And so I have to take it back. Um and so I had to size down. So I want to take that back today, and I have some packages coming too. I actually have a package coming on Halloween. And I hope it don't come on Halloween. I hope it come either the day before Halloween or the day after. Cause I'm not gonna be home for Halloween. So I'm just not um, you know. You know how they like to leave the packages at the front door now. So like when I get a package, I like to be like, all right, I know the package is coming, but pretty much everybody on the floor respects people packages. So I like that. Like I don't have to worry about um my neighbors or anybody taking packages because we respect, everyone's stuff, you know. So I don't gotta worry about that. Right? Because everyone gets stuff from like Amazon, you know, and Amazon, they not taking the package back. If your shit gotta be delivered, it's gonna be delivered and it's gonna be left at your door whether you like it or not, you know? They're not gonna do no other attempts, they're not gonna do none of that or whatever. That's what they're not gonna do. You know, so when you do an Amazon, you gotta make sure you gotta be there, or at least have a time frame. Or now they have like what I'm noticing is that, but they ain't put no Amazon box. I mean no Amazon boxes in my building, but they got not boxes, mailboxes, what they call. They don't have that there yet, but I predict that they're gonna have them everywhere. Them Amazon lockers, I think they call Amazon lockers. But even if they have Amazon lockers, you still gonna have to put some of the packages at people's doors, like the big ones. Either way you put it, you know. But it makes it convenient though, like very convenient. When you get stuff delivered to your front door, like some clothes, but it's nothing like going out to the store and actually buying stuff. I had went um to Target because I needed a new pot set, right? And I felt like the pot sets online was expensive. Like, I felt like if I went to the store, I would get it cheaper. And long and behold, I did go to Target and I got me a nice pot set for like $99 and it came like with 20 pieces. And then outside of that, I had bought like a big, huge pot because I don't have no big, huge pots like those pots like you could do seafood boils in. And then I also bought another it wasn't a pot, it's like I forgot what you call it. It's like a iron pan or something like that. I added it onto it. And long and behold, when I had went there, they only had one more pot set and I got it. It was only one there. And that pot set is I'm glad I got it because when I went online to see, they had that same one for 179, but it didn't come with 20 pieces. It came with like 18 pieces. So if I would have went online to get that, it would have been more expensive. I feel like certain things they sell online, especially like home goods, is more expensive. But when you go into the store, you actually get stuff cheaper or whatever. But the thing with about getting it in the store, they don't always have like a lot, like only so that one there. And they had another one, but I'm like, no, I want this one. Because I didn't really hear no bad reviews about that particular pot. Because I had like this Rachel Ray pots for like so many years. I had to get rid of it. And I was gonna go with her, like buy her another pot set from her. But I was like, no, I'm gonna try something different. And so I had went to Marshalls, but with Marshalls they didn't have like pot sets. You had to buy everything individually. And they had like sterling silver pots or whatever. But I like the pot set that I got. I think I like it. Um Yeah, and so it's some more stuff I need to get. I want to buy some new garbage cans, um, and some other stuff for the house. Yeah, but I'm gonna do that real soon. But I'm about to get off of here. I have to start my day, get things together. But yeah. But I guess I'll be back on later. Um, yeah, I gotta go to take back this package and stuff like that. I want to go early, do that. All right, I'm out of here. So if this your first time tapping in, just subscribe, comment or whatever. All right, peace.